tell you another story of New Mexico. I was in New Mexico and I had a meeting with all the Montessori schools. You know the Montessori schools. All the Montessori schools in New Mexico came together and I was the keynote speaker to the kids between 3 and 5. No, it's interesting, a keynote speaker for kids of 3. So all the kids sat down in a big circle, and of course I'm being introduced in a way that didn't make any sense to these kids. And they are looking all the way up, and the only thing I could do is sit down. They had this podium, and they had this, you know, the kids all the... I went down on the floor, and I took with me a glass of water. Because in my briefing I had been told I should talk about water. Because there's a water shortage in New Mexico. And there's no water, and since there's no water, the children should know they have to save water. And so my briefing said, talk about saving water. So I go into the room, this is not a fable. I go into the room, and I had a glass of that's half full with water. And I hold it in front of me, and I look at all the kids and I say, who wants to pee in my glass? The room just collapsed. I mean, you know, I see these poor heads going, worse, these teachers. My God, who was this keynote again? And I'm going to summarize what happened in 45 minutes in 5 minutes. I showed him the glass, I look around and I said, okay, put the glass down. I said, who has a dog? Some put up their hands. Could you tell me, could you show me, how does the dog do pee-pee and poo-poo? No problem. Immediately, there. They're 3 years old, they know exactly how the male and the female does it. No problem about it. They've observed it, they know it, and they will even show you different sizes of dogs, different leg movements. You think kids don't know anything about physiology? Forget about it. They know everything about physiology of the dog. So when I let them play for a while, I take the glass again, and I say, now who wants to pee in my glass? And some kid in the back says, you're stupid! We don't pee in glass! So I just keep him looking with the glass, go around, good eye contact, put the glass down again and say, who has a cat? How does the cat do it? The kids know exactly how the cats do it. Now, the male and the female do it the same way. And they do it in a little place, and there's, you know, and the kids take care of it. And I ask them, does it smell? No, it doesn't smell. As long as you clean it out every 3-4 days, you know, no smell. Very good. Now I let them just go on, and they're showing how to clean it, and how the cat sits, and how the cat moves, and what the cat does up, and everything about the kids know the physiology of the cat better than you imagine. There goes my glass. As soon as I lifted the glass, I said, no! All of them start screaming, no, we don't do that. I put my glass down again and said, who has a bird at home? I was looking and I have a bird. And how does the bird do it? And I kind of figure out that the bird preferably does it on the head of the teacher. I mean, you can see their minds going, you know, and they all look at the teacher. It's like, oh, the bird comes and drops on the teacher. Amazing! Every child has only one wish. If one day only the bird could drop on the teachers. They would enjoy that one. But they realize that, you know, liquids and solids come out through the same place. And they know that. There is not one for liquid and one for solids. It all goes to the same. So, bird physiology, they figured that one out as well. So I take my glass, and when I lift my glass now, the whole room is roaring. And I let them scream, and I asked to have a bit of silence. And after 3 minutes, there's enough silence. I said, I want to know, what is the first thing you did this morning when you woke up? Unless you still wear diapers. Some of them. And then silence. And the children are thinking and thinking, and there's a girl on the third row who says, "I peed in your glass." She realized that when she wakes up, she's going to the toilet and she's peeing in drinking water. She realized it. And there's consternation in the room because what they realize is they're all using drinking water to flush out. And I tell you, I have never received so many emails and calls from parents. "What did you do to my daughter? She says she can do it the same way as the cat." "What do you mean?" "Well, she doesn't want to use it. She doesn't want to go to the toilet anymore. She thinks we should have a little bag outside in the garden where she can go, just like the cat does it." "Dad, if the cat can do it, why can't I do it?" "Dad, is there not a shortage of water?" "Dad, you're using 5 gallons of water every time you flush. How can you do that?" Apparently, 90% of the girls wanted to do it that way. The boys, they got it a bit easier, They go to the tree and it's all taken care of. But the amazing thing is that I got calls from the salesman of the separation in the dry toilet. He said, "Could you give that speech again?" "Why?" He said, "I've never sold so many toilets as after your speech." And apparently, the girls made their father buy for the home a dry toilet. They made him buy, 3 years old. And she had all the arguments. "Dad, this is the way how the dog does it. This is the way how the cat does it. This is how the way the bird does it. And me, and we have no water." And this is the power of a child. They can turn society around if we give them the right inspiration. And I think this is so important. But what we're missing is people who are willing to change. Because taking out that toilet, then what do we do with the sewage? And what do we do with the septic tank? And what do we do with that? And the girls, they have all the argument. "That, we do it the same way as we do with the cats. It's no problem. We take care of it." The key thing is, are we willing to change? And very often we need to realize that we're so used to do things this way, that even if we know it's not the right way, and even if we decide to change, even something simple as crossing our arms, we're not able to do it. And if we realize that we have that difficulty to change, because our kids are teaching us, then we realize that soon we can do much better.